y'all, welcome back to the channel. This is your favorite Sassy Southern Grandma, Cindy. Thanks for joining us again. This week we're going to do the second part of our series about making 2025 your best year yet. If you haven't seen the first video, which was about the big overview of what we got accomplished last year or didn't, and what we want to get accomplished this coming year, that video, you can click here and see that. And this week we're going to talk about setting your goals. Before we get started, when this video airs, it will be the Saturday after Christmas, and that is known as the Christmas letdown. You've worked so hard, especially mamas have worked so hard to get everything great for Christmas, everybody's presents, everything wrapped, tree up, decorations up, and Christmas is over and it's bleh. You're all kind of a letdown. So I understand if you don't have the gumption to start on January 1st. You can start February 1st. You can start July 1st. You can start planning for a good year, for a good 3 months. You can start planning goals at any time, and you can set goals at any time. A lot of people just start at the beginning of the year because it is kind of a fresh start feeling. So give yourself a break. If you can't get this all together before January 1st, you can make some steps and then walk into February with some new goals. That being said, let's get started on how we're going to set our goals. Why do we set goals? We talked about it last week. If you go on a trip, you don't just get in the car and start driving. You got to know where you're going. You got to have your GPS on with your destination. You got to know your turns. You got to know if there's a road blocked or a bridge that's out. You got to know kind of what your plan is for your destination. That's what your goals are. We're going to look at all those 6 areas that we talked about last week that were on your mind map, and I hope that you got that printed out and wrote down some of the ideas of the things that you want to get done this year. Take each one of those areas and we're going to break them down. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. You can't get overwhelmed with thinking, this is too much. This is a whole year. I can't think about all this right now. You don't need to think about it all right now. Think about this week. I always tell nursing students when they start nursing school, don't look at the whole syllabus. It will blow your mind and you'll get discouraged because you won't feel like you can do it. Look at this week. What do I need to do this week? What's due this week? What classes do I have this week? Don't even think about next week. Don't think about that test 3 weeks from now. Think about right now. What do I need to do this week? Then flush that week and go on to the next week. That's how you get to any goal. So when we look at the different areas we talked about last week, we look at your body, which is one of the most popular things that people set up is I want to do something different. I know that I'm not eating healthy. I know that I'm not getting enough exercise. I want to be in even better shape than I am now. I want to be able to play with my grandkids. I want to be able to pick up my babies. I want to be able to do all those things that our bodies are designed to do, but if we just sit around and eat junk food, it's not going to happen. So set your goal for what you want to feel like, what you want to look like, how you want to be at the end of the year. Break that down into 12 steps. You've got 12 months to get there. Don't worry about December. Worry about this week. What can I do this week to get me towards my goal? When it comes to money, another big thing. If you want to save $5,000 this year, that sounds like a lot. Don't worry about December. Think about month by month. That's $417 a month, which still sounds like a chunk of money, but it's $96 a week. So you can have that automatically taken from your paycheck, direct deposited into your savings account. You never see it. You never spend it. You don't think about it. Sometimes you do something like that and forget about it. You look 6 months down the road, you've got $2,500 in a savings account. So take those things from the big picture of 1 year, break them down. We talked about our mind, the area of our mind. Do you want to learn something new? Do you want to get more into reading? Do you want to read more books than you've ever read? Do you want to learn something new? Do you want to get a degree that you haven't gotten yet? Do you want to build on a degree that you already have? Don't think about graduating with a new degree. Think about, what can I do this week? What can I do this week to contact a college to find out what they have to offer, to talk to a counselor to find out what do I need to do to get where I'm going? Those little steps, week by week by week, will get you to your end of the year goal. If you want to read more, is there a certain number of books you want to read? Is there a certain subject you want to read about? Set that goal, break it down into months and then break it down into weeks. If you can just read 1 hour a day, that's more than you read last week. If you read 5 hours a day, that's more than you read last week. But just set yourself small goals throughout the week that will get you to that big goal at the end of the year. Another area we talked about was your soul or spirit or spirituality. Sometimes it's kind of vague to set goals in those areas, but it can be done. I know where I was raised in the Baptist church on every corner. The big thing was I'm going to read my Bible through this year, or I'm going to have my devotions every single morning. I'm going to get up and pray and read my Bible. Sometimes that's a little daunting to say every single day, maybe 3 days. Maybe you want to start a meditation practice. Maybe the first week you just want to look up some meditations, get some guided meditations that will help you get started. Just break everything down. That's the biggest lesson from this week, is break down those big goals that we talked about last week into smaller things that you can do to work yourself towards those goals. Another reason to set goals and to set plans weekly and monthly is you have something to celebrate. You can look back and pat yourself on the back and say, I did that. I started out with nothing and look at what I've accomplished. That gives you the motivation to keep going. I did it this week. I can do it again next week. Maybe I can do some more. When we talk about the area of relationships, sometimes we're kind of willy-nilly with relationships. We're born into this family. That's the people we got. We meet these people at work, or we meet them through some activity, and those become our friends. We don't even think about it. Maybe we need to be more intentional. Maybe there's new people we want to meet. Maybe there's people in an area of our interest that we want to be able to meet with on a regular basis. Maybe you love to do crafts. Maybe you want to join a book club. Maybe you want to get to know some people who have some similar interests as you. That's not going to happen without some intention and some thought on your part and some action on your part. So whatever you have on the relationship goals for the end of the year, think about what you can do each month to work you towards that. If there are people in your family that you wish you kept closer contact with, set a goal each month. I'm going to contact Aunt Sally at least once this month. Maybe next month you're going to contact her twice. Maybe there's people that would really love to hear from you, but we're all so busy. It doesn't take that long to pick up the phone and talk to somebody for a few minutes, and it would mean a lot to those people on the other end. That's one thing I'm going to work on this year, is working on staying more intentionally in touch with my kids. It's kind of, if they text me, I text them. I text them, they text me. It's kind of not a plan at all. So I'm going to try and do better at staying in touch with them. They're scattered all over the country. And there's so much technology now that can help us with that, with the Zoom calls and the FaceTime and the texts and all the things that we can do now to stay in touch with people. You get to see your grandkids that are far, far away, and they get to see you and know who you are as they're growing up. So be more intentional about those relationships and set some goals. It seems kind of silly to set goals with relationships like they should just happen automatically, but everybody's so busy it doesn't happen automatically. So set some goals in that area. And the last area is mission. We talked about last week, what are you passionate about? What are you here for? What are the things that you really want to get accomplished in the years that you have left on this earth? You may be young, you may be old. It's never too late to start working towards some things that you really, really care about. Maybe there's some volunteer work that you want to do. 1 hour a week. That's all you have to do to start. Find some organizations that have some areas that you're interested in, if it's homelessness or food insecurity or people that need help with their kids, people that need help with aging parents. There's all kinds. People always need some kind of help. There's always organizations that you can join and work with to give your time, maybe give your money, but time is really important to really connect with other people and to help other people. You never know the impact you'll have on somebody else's life and the reward that it is in your life. So set that yearly goal of what you'd like to accomplish in that area that you're really passionate about, and just break it down by month and start this week. Start the first week of the year and say, this week I'm going to research what organizations have volunteer opportunities that I would like to get involved in. The next week, give them a call. The next week, go volunteer an hour. By the end of the month, you will have some things under your belt that you didn't have at the first of the month. So that will help you stay motivated to keep doing that, and it becomes a snowball that you get more and more involved and you get more and more reward from those things that you're really passionate about. Maybe you want to start a business. Maybe you want to start a side hustle. How can you even start that? Week 1, do some research. Week 2, make some phone calls. Week 3, get a business plan. Whatever it is that you're planning to do can always be broken down into little bitty parts that you can do this week. Something that I've done several times, sometimes it's done really well, sometimes I haven't really kept up with it, is a vision board. Sometimes they end up in the back of a closet and I forgot it was even there until I clean out the closet again. But a vision board is something that can keep you more focused on your goals. It can keep you as a reminder of what it is I'm really supposed to be doing here. When you're kind of wasting time or you're kind of having a day where you don't know what you need to be doing, you can look at that vision board and go, wait a minute, I got some things I need to be working on. And that will help. A vision board could be a poster board. It can be a screen on your phone. It can be a screen on your computer. It can be just a document that you create that has pictures on it of what it is that you want out of this year. What are some things that you would like to have? Some things you would like to accomplish? Some places you'd like to go? You never know when you put something on that board what's going to come into your life that's going to help you get there. But if you don't have a vision, if you don't have a goal, even the Bible says, where there is no vision, the people perish. So you're not going to get anything done if you don't have a vision. So I encourage you. This is an example of my vision board for this year. And if you have any questions about how to do that or how I did mine, be sure and give me some questions in the comments. I'll be glad to help you with that. And you can do something as simple as a poster board, get some magazines and cut out some pictures. Start thinking big. Start thinking of those things that you really want to accomplish this year, things we talked about last week. Put those pictures of how you want to feel, where you want to be, the kind of person you want to be, the things that you might want to be able to get throughout this year. Put those things on the board and you'll be amazed sometimes at what really materializes in your world because you put it on that vision board and kept your focus on it. One thing we need to do as we are working towards goals is track them somehow. You can use something as simple as a notebook with checkoff lists. You can use a calendar where you put what you want to do each day on the calendar, or you can go digital and use some of the apps that are out there. There are tons of goal setting apps. There are tons of trackers of all kinds. Most people are familiar with MyFitnessPal. You can keep up with your food, your activity, and look at what you're doing, what kind of results you're getting, and you can tweak it from week to week or month to month if you feel like you're not eating enough, eating too little, eating too much, not getting enough activity, maybe you're getting too much activity and you're tired. You can look back at those things that you tracked and see, okay, I can tweak this here and tweak that there, and that keeps you on track towards your goal. There's another one called Habitica, which is a habit tracking app. So if you want to start some new habits, like every day I want to be sure I do my face skincare. That's something I'm trying to work on, is doing it every day. Not getting any younger, got to take care of what they call the money maker. I got to take care of that skin, and I inherited good skin, but not if I don't take care of it. So if you want to start a habit of drinking X number of ounces of water a day, one of the healthiest things you can do. How many steps do you want to get every day? If you've got some kind of notebook or app or something to track those things, then you can see how much progress you've made and how much further you need to go. And the thing about tracking things is it's encouraging, because you can see I really stuck to this week. I know I can do it again next week because I did it this week. Or you can see where maybe some obstacles got thrown in your way and you didn't get those things accomplished, and then you have to tweak what you're doing. Maybe a certain day of the week doesn't work for a certain thing you're trying to do. That way you can always manipulate it throughout the year. You don't have to set one thing at the beginning of the year and now I got to do it all year. You can always change those things. You're in charge. The other one is Notion, which is an app that you can put on your computer and your phone. They work together, and that's the one I'm using this year. I've kind of gotten into it a little bit. It can get real complicated if you're not careful, but you can put a lot of things from year to month to week to daily goals of things that you want to do. It's very easy to use once you get into it, and I just encourage you to get a way. If it's a piece of paper, if it's a check mark on a paper on the refrigerator, whatever it is you need to do to keep up with what you're supposed to be doing versus what you actually did. Keep in mind that life is about progress, not perfection. Progress is all we're looking for. Nobody's going to be perfect. Nobody's going to meet every single goal, every single day, every single week. But if you don't at least attempt something and set a goal, you're really not going to accomplish anything. So progress, not perfection. Give yourself a pat on the back when you do something well. When your week has gone really well and you've hit a lot of those targets that you were going for, give yourself a little treat. Give yourself some kind of reward. It doesn't have to be something big. Maybe it's just a pat on the back from yourself, or share it with a friend and say, look what I got done this week. That'll be encouraging as well. You don't have to do this by yourself. Put your goals in the comments. Maybe some people that are watching, 2 or 3 of you have the same goal you can work on together. Some of you may have some questions. If you have questions about, can I really accomplish this year? I think I can, but I've got these issues. Be sure and just leave those questions and comments in the comment section. I'll be glad to get back with you and help any way that I can. And I'm sure there's other people in the community that would be willing to help as well. Thank you for watching. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Things are really growing. I really appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying the videos. And be sure and like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification if you'd like to get notified every time there's a new video. Down in the description of this video are a few links. I put some links for the apps that I mentioned. Also, there's a gentleman named Ali Abdal who is an expert at this productivity thing. He has a book that I would highly recommend, and also I tagged one of his videos down there, his YouTube videos. He's got a ton of great information. If you would like to, you can go and check those out. He gets a lot more in detail than I do, but it may be some things that will spark some more interest in you and some more motivation to really accomplish the things you want to get done this year. Also, be sure and go to my Instagram, same name, at Sassy Southern Grandma. I'm getting things rolling on Instagram. I'd love to have y'all over there. We can talk throughout the week between videos and get some more inspiration. And I'd really appreciate those follows over there as well. That will give you also some notifications of when new things are coming up on the YouTube channel. Next week, our video is going to be about motivation and staying on track, and how to deal with obstacles and objections and things. It might be the most important one of all, because a lot of us have set goals and then things get in the way and we fall off the track. But next week we're going to talk about how to keep that motivation going, how to deal with obstacles and objections from other people, and how to keep yourself on track throughout the year. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.
Welcome back now. Here.